Namaste, friends. Sandi here. I hope this finds you well, and I thank you for a moment of your time so that I can share with you a very personal moment of transition in my life and humbly ask for your support in this process. So if you want to make a difference in someone's day today, here's your chance to make a real difference in mine. Currently, I am in Mysore, South India. It's an amazing city. I'm so grateful to be here, and I'm so inspired. I just want to keep shooting photos and videos to share with the world how special this place is. And more about that in a moment. But first of all, the reason I'm here is for yoga, for specifically the Mysore tradition of Ashtanga Vinyasa Yoga, which I have been practicing for over a dozen years. And I've come here now to deepen my practice, and I was not expecting it, but on this trip I have been offered certification directly from one of the original, or if not the original, yoga shala or yoga school of the Mysore Ashtanga Vinyasa tradition. And it's coming from Saraswathi Jois herself. She is now 83 years old, but still teaching so strong and clear, every day showing up to hundreds of students in her shala with such steady energy that is really astonishing considering everything she's been through lately. Saraswathi Jois is the daughter of the founding guru of the Mysore Ashtanga Vinyasa practice, Sri K. Patabi Jois. She's also the mother of the late Param Guru Sharat Jois, who recently passed away at only 53. And his passing was quite shocking for all of us. I had been studying with him for over 10 years. I had just seen him on his last tour to the USA in Miami, where his energy was amazing as usual, and it was just totally unbelievable that he left the world so quickly from a heart attack all of a sudden. And yet it feels kind of mystical in that he seemed to be on such a high vibration, and suddenly to not be here in the physical way was like such a jarring wake-up call of, well, how impermanent our bodies are, and also of how maybe what's on this side of life and on the other are not that far apart. For me, that was like one of the awakenings, that it's like a really thin veil between this side of life and the other, in the sense that I still feel he's here, especially being here in Mysore. He was just such a cool person. Like most of my Ashtanga yoga teachers, they're cool people. Like I don't see them necessarily as like perfect people. They're more shamanic, like they're cool people. They help me tap into parts of my soul that need to be awakened, or revived. And Shirachi was like that for me. And coming to Mysore, I feel like, oh, Mysore is such a cool place. It's like that too. Like he carried the energy of this place, which has a kind of otherworldly sparkle to it. I mean, that sounds sort of silly, but it has this like light, that glimmers through it. And I want to be able to share that with more people, which I think we do through our practice of Mysore Ashtanga Vinyasa Yoga. But I'd also like to do it through creating more video content and storytelling. Prior to coming into the Ashtanga Vinyasa practice, or even yoga in general, I worked in the film and media industry. And really I was aspiring to be a director and be a performer, and I ran into some very traumatic situations that just made me realize I wasn't prepared to carry on in that business if I didn't have a ground of wellness underneath me, like something that grounded me and really made me feel rooted and anchored in a spiritual path. And that's where yoga came in, and Ashtanga in particular has transformed my life to give me that kind of rooting and groundedness of spiritual aspiration and continued, commitment to showing up to practice. So anyway, 12 years into this practice, I'm like, oh yeah, there's still the storyteller in me. There's still the artist in me. And Mysore is just bringing it out of me, or really India is bringing out of me. I think India is my spiritual home. It's my spiritual teacher. It's actually here that I left the film industry, in the sense that it was while I was here in 2009 shooting a documentary about Indian classical music that I experienced a great trauma of essentially being in an ashram in Mumbai, where someone broke into my room in the middle of the night and assaulted me. And I woke up with this person on top of me, semi-conscious. I think I must have been drugged by the cup of tea I ordered to my room, because basically I blacked out and then woke up and there was someone on top of me and I was fighting for my life. Couldn't feel anything. I just felt myself screaming, actually. and heard my voice, and that's what woke me up, and this person couldn't shut me up, and that's what eventually got them off of me, only for me to discover that I was bruised and battered and naked in an ashram. And that traumatic experience led to post-traumatic stress disorder, it led to depression, it led to a lot of things that ultimately led me deeper into needing yoga and discovering that yoga can help me transform my trauma into a spiritual awakening, reframe my story, to turn pain into the power of showing up with more compassion. So, wow, I know that's a lot, but like, that's, what it's all about. And having had that experience in India, but having continued to come back to this country and learn so much and be restored and renewed and reminded of a greater reality, I have not learned that anywhere but here. And for that reason, I feel so indebted to India. I feel so grateful to be here, and I want to stay here longer. Saraswathi Jois offered me certification, which means that after 12 years of practicing this tradition, I've been blessed with her recognition that I'm ready to teach it. And that means a lot more than just having completed the 200-hour and 300-hour and hundreds of hours of trainings that I've done in the US, where I've paid to go through teacher trainings and receive certificates that say I'm now a teacher. This is different. It's in the traditional Indian system known as the Guru Shishya Parampara, or the teacher-disciple tradition, where essentially, you practice and practice and practice and practice under the watch of your teacher, of your guru, and then when they see that you merit their authorization to teach, then you're invited to do so. And that happened to me on this trip, which is really exciting because it also brought out the possibility for me to assist. And I think that is so important. I'm getting to assist Saraswati Ji in her shala right now, where international students from all over the world are coming to practice, and learning to assist them correctly, and receiving their feedback is like invaluable. It's so interesting. Different people will respond to assists differently and need different things, and learning how to communicate that and how to adapt to different bodies, different minds, different cultures is such a part of this practice. And I think it's a really profound part of what makes this practice so healing. The hands-on adjustments and relationship between teachers and students in this practice is really profound. And it's also been controversial. I mean, years back, Pattabhi Jois was brought into controversy, the founding guru, for some of his assists, which some of his students felt were abusive and violated them. And others didn't. Some did, others didn't. And I think that's a really important distinction to make, that not everybody receives assists in the same way. And it's really important to develop a culture of assisting that has communication at its basis, so that people feel they can be in communication, so that if an assist doesn't feel right, or if it feels abusive, it can be addressed right away. So like, creating a culture of communication is just the key, in my opinion, in moving forward. And I see that here. Like, I see that people are communicative, and I really, really appreciate being a part of that, and I want to help communicate more of what Ashtanga is all about. And I feel that staying a little longer here will help me to do that. Saraswati Ji is teaching until the end of March, so I would like to stay until the end of her season. And I'd also like to, while I'm here, work on more video content, more storytelling. I'd like to share with you some of the beauty that I see here, some of the beautiful stories and people and animals that make this place so special. And I'm working on editing right now. I need a little more time to finish my next video. I have a lot actually underway, and I just need some time to get that editing done, which I could have here if I can stay a little bit longer. So please, if you can help me, make a donation today to help me pay for my certificate from Saraswathi Jois, to help me stay another month assisting in her shala here in Mysore, and to make some video content. Any little contribution makes a huge difference, and I will return it to you with such immeasurable gratitude, with yoga classes and video content, and perhaps even some cool clothing. So I really appreciate you being a part of this journey with me. Let's be the love, let's be the change we want to see in the world. I love you, and I thank you. Namaste.